I am waving, not just the emoji waving,
I
but
know,
I'm
I've got the
waving.
real wave. Great
Real
to
life
see you.
waving.
It's
Lovely
a
to see
real,
you.
it's an honor to meet you. You're bringing out the teenager in me. It's not every day I get to speak to a heartthrob.
Yeah. It's not every day I get called one anymore, that's for sure.
But you still look great. You look ageless. So
Oh, thank you, thank you. It costs lots of money, and yeah, making lots of deals with the devil, and yeah, it's still going to run out soon.
there's a painting somewhere up in the loft. Let me just tell the viewers who are watching, you know, who you are, because you've had an incredible career. So you were in the boy band A1, and
right.
you won the Brit Award over
Yeah.
Coldplay and Craig David as most promising, you know, new performance act. So I mean, that's phenomenal. That's incredible, over Coldplay.
Absolutely. I mean, what happened? Because really, it was a fantastic. Now, let me just move this mic because I've got this mic set up just in case I do some singing. If you perhaps you might like, but it's got a bit of reverb on it, so
I
I'll
think
move.
we're getting lots of hearts are coming on with this.
Excellent. Well, so and look, I just so happen to strategically have it placed here. It doesn't normally go here, but it's going here so you can see it. Not normally it's just like a paperweight in the other room or in the toilet. But no, I'm kidding. Of course, it means the world to me, and I'm very very proud of that. The reason it was so special to us was because, as you mentioned, there were bands like Coldplay in the category. That particular year, an artist by the name of Craig David, who I'm sure you'll be familiar with, he was nominated for something like eight awards, and he didn't pick up any, which is absolutely crazy. So I think that actually sent him off to the States. After that, he felt so kind of, you know, blanked. So he was like, right, I'm off to America, and he did phenomenally well over there. But obviously he's since come back, and he's still got a fantastic career. But the reason that was so special was because that was the one category that was voted for by the public. So to know that, you know, normally the Brit Awards are voted by a committee, you know, all people within the industry. So to have an award that actually is voted for by the public over Coldplay, Craig David, many other bands as well, it meant the world. And here we are. This is exactly 20 years since we won that award. And that really makes me sound old, doesn't it?
But 20 years later, you're doing something really, really incredible. And I think you've done something pretty incredible over lockdown. So
that's right.
Tell us about what you're doing right now.
I just noticed how loud my shirt is. You know when you put on a shirt and then you don't realize until you see it on camera how loud it is. So yeah.
You look fabulous. You just look fabulous. Own it.
As do you. It's really, really lovely to talk to you. I feel like we should give a little bit of an explanation for some of the people watching who as to how we connected, because of a lovely mutual friend of ours by the name of Lizzie that has connected us, and I really appreciate that. And it's lovely to speak to you. But perhaps you could, for some of the people.
Well, Lizzie's my agent, by the way. She's my agent and publicist, like on the side. It's her side hustle.
Well,
this is my side.
I will probably be stealing her from you. No, I'll, of course not. But for some of the people that have joined us who are on Team Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself. See, look at me flipping this interview. It's Mark reading Conversation with Denise.
What I am going to say, Mark, is that I love and applaud performers. So my moniker is I'm just the ultimate fangirl, and I champion and love actors, performers, movies. I just applaud anybody that gets out there, writes a song, you know, makes a video, does anything, because I think it just takes so much work and so much bravery as well to be yourself and put yourself out there. And so I just want to be that mascot or the person on the side that's just saying, yeah, go for it. I applaud what you're doing, and I'm going to champion you. And
so much.
you know, yeah, so that's me. And I just you know, love it, and I love supporting people in a very positive way.
Oh, that's really wonderful to hear. So back to your question. Obviously, it's been quite an adjustment for everybody this past year or so, and but for me as a performing musician and an artist who had all of their gigs cancelled, unfortunately, like so many, all of a sudden you find yourselves at home trying to adjust and adapt. We've been very fortunate that we've got amazing fans who have joined us online because we were able to do some live virtual concerts, which
Yeah,
has
and
been
I mean, I've researched you, and you've got such a huge following, like, you know, huge Instagram following and Twitter. You're now on TikTok, and I looked at a few
oh,
of those, and that's very
that's
exciting.
not worth looking at. I'm a real TikTok amateur. I just dabble like many, but I am so impressed with people out there that have just cracked it and they know exactly what they're doing. They found a niche, and what an amazing thing it is. And but yeah, there's so many who are so far ahead of me. I just do silly things really and have a bit of fun. But yeah, so during the lockdown, my computer's gone into sleep mode, and if I'm going to sing anything, I'm going to need those lyrics. That's a
Yeah,
little
so
clip.
yeah, tell me, because I'm gonna make you perform for us, because I think there's too many people watching and are gonna watch this later when it's posted who are gonna be,
Absolutely.
you know, really, really. But I want to hear about how you got there and how you arrived and the incredible charity that you're supporting. If you can talk
Absolutely.
about
Well,
that.
so in the beginning of the lockdown, I wrote a song that, with a good friend of mine that was very specifically about the lockdown. That was called "Where Were You When the World Stopped." I know there's a very famous song in America, "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning," but this is a little bit different to that one. And this was very specifically about the lockdown, and because for artists, you know, you put them in a cage, or if you lock them up at home, we're gonna have to be creative. We're gonna have to find ways to kind of let out those, you know, those creative juices and all that kind of stuff. So for the first year or so, I managed to write quite a few songs. Hit a bit of a wall partway through, I think, as many people did, certainly in that third lockdown, because that lockdown just felt like forever. And I think I absolutely hit a creative wall, and I thought, I just don't know what I'm going to do. It's so long since we've done shows and performances.
Oh, we're frozen.
Oh, hey,
oh, okay.
Denise, I'm going to endeavour to stay with you because unfortunately my internet around here, as many people know, is pretty shocking. But I appreciate you staying with me. So I will be back if I do disappear or freeze.
Yeah, and there's lots of fans on here, and we're getting, like, you know, they love your TikToks. More TikToks, please. I love listening to where we're at. Yeah, Mark's internet is playing up again. You've always got some super fans on here.
Absolutely, I need to have it out with Vodafone. So, but yeah, it's living next to a farm. Apparently it's just really bad around here. It's the farm. There you go. AJ870813 has pointed out it's the farm. But most recently, I wrote a song called "Stop the Show," which you mentioned, and I hadn't planned on releasing it, but then it felt so perfect for everything that's been going on with the theatres, you know, the risk of theatres closing down and so many people not being able to get on stage and perform. So I finished the song in the last lockdown. I thought, I'm actually going to release this. I was planning on holding it back, possibly holding it back for the band, because when I first started writing it, I wanted a song that would be a great show opener. A song that would, you know, just really set the stage for a great show. So my plan was to write a big show opener for the band, but it turns out that because of, you know, the events of, you know, lockdown the last year, I released it early. I released it myself, and it very much specifically is about, you know, getting back out on stage, and no matter what, and similar to the Queen's great song "The Show Must Go On." It's very much a metaphor for life. It's very much, you know, saying no matter what we face, what adversities we face, the show must go on, you know. And it's exactly this. It's you can't stop the show. So Mel loves A1, listening to Stop the Show. Don't listen to Stop the Show now. You should be listening to us having a chat. Yeah, so I put it out earlier this month, and I've been able to collaborate to some extent with the great charity Acting for Others, who have been doing incredible work.
Now that's got Dame Judi Dench is a patron, Mark Ryland, among
Ian
others.
McKellen, and along with many others, and they released a great T-shirt with the "Show Must Go On" slogan, and they've already raised over £1 million, which is absolutely incredible. And because it's been really tough. A lot of a lot of artists have really struggled. Not just artists and performers, people behind the scenes, people who run the theatre. And from the bottom to the top have been massively affected, and with organizations like Acting for Others, it just helps to kind of raise the awareness and raise some money and make things a little bit easier for people, because unfortunately it has been hard, and many people would say the government have not been doing enough. It's such a huge thing to kind of juggle and to tackle when so many industries are affected.
Yeah.
But we all know how important the arts are, because it's shaped so many of our lives. And without theatre, who can imagine a world without music and theatre?
The arts is what has gotten me through the last 18 months.
Wow.
And it's been like Andrew Lloyd Webber, putting all his shows, and the National Theatre Live, and just being able to connect with it on TV or your laptop has been so vital. And these kind of things, the Instagram lives, and Coldplay, the people that lost to you, doing live concerts to support everybody. So we couldn't live without the arts.
It just goes to show that the arts find a way. I mean, because who would have known that we would be having chats like this? Who would have known that like 2 years ago, who'd even heard of Zoom? But now we're all chatting on Zoom, doing concerts on Zoom, connecting with people over the world. I mean, one of the last shows that we did, we had 200 people on the screen at the same time. And it's such an amazing thing to see. It's really funny, and it's quite bizarre seeing everybody sitting at home on their living rooms, and, because it's quite different to actually going to a concert, of course, but I'm so grateful for that lifeline, as are many bands, and the fans have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and the fans are just saying you've helped them through so much. So tell me about the making of the video, which I've watched, and it's absolutely fantastic. But you made that on your own, just with your computer?
Yes, you know how they talk about the new skills that we've learned during the lockdown?
Yeah.
That's been a popular thing, whether it's gardening, whether it's cooking. For me, a new skill that I kind of, I'm still very much learning, was learning how to edit videos. Now, I'd always dabbled in it. I'd always done a few bits and pieces for the A1 shows. I did our intro videos and bits like that. But with the Where Were You song, I kind of created a very at-home video. But I thought, well, if I'm going to do a song like Stop the Show, it needs to have a video that kind of matches the energy and the, of the song. So I initially planned on going to an actual theatre, filming it live. And that was a possibility, but very expensive. Quite an expensive endeavour to actually hire a theatre for just 3 to 6 hours, So I thought, okay, get the green screen out, put green blankets everywhere, all over the living room.
You did it right where you are in this room?
Yeah.
Here?
No,
wow.
I did it downstairs in the living room. I have a slightly bigger space in the living room, and I just covered one side of the room in green. And what I didn't realise is how important it is that all the greens are exactly the same shade of green. So there I've got a different green towel over here and a green box over here. Well, it's green, isn't it? But actually, when you go to key out the colours, if it's not exactly the same shade, you're going to have a lot of problems. So it was definitely a learning curve, a very interesting one, and put a lot of hours into that. I actually spent the best part of a month editing it, and when I won't bore people with all the technical talk, but if your hand or your head goes outside of the green screen, then that part of your head is going to be cut off. So you have to, make amends for that. So and make find ways around that. So there's parts of the video where I changed the aspect ratio to more widescreen because I've actually cut the top of my head off. But as I was trying to find practical ways to kind of justify doing that. So there's one bit where I'm in widescreen and then I do a move to open bars. And I thought, there you go, I got away with it. Phew. And various other bits and pieces, like if there was something showing in the background, I'll just put a smoke bomb there. Nobody will notice. So it was really fun finding practical ways to get around, you know, such rookie mistakes that I made.
That was so cool, though, that you just did that in your home on your computer, you know, and not, you hadn't done this before, so you
No.
were learning as you were
Yeah.
doing it. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing. There's so many cool people out there that have put tutorials on YouTube for pretty much whatever you need to figure out how to do. There's somebody telling you, and I'm just glad that I chose Final Cut Pro, because I know people who have worked with other, you know, like Adobe Premiere, and it's completely different. So I picked the right program, because in my studio I use Logic, and it's very user friendly. And I bet people are just nodding off now. Sorry, but
now we're getting loads of parts. So.
Yeah, the great thing about Final Cut is it's very user friendly, and it's literally just a case of layering, putting layers in. So for each scene, this is a real nerdy bit of info. Each scene of that video is about 8 to 10 different things layered up on top of each other. So I really respect people that make films, that make any kind of you know, entertainment like in film, because that was 3.5 minutes. So I was thinking to myself, how in the world would I ever do an hour and a half, even an hour? It's phenomenal to think that people out there, and there was one scene where I had an envelope in my hand, and I had to animate it. I don't know how to animate an envelope. I haven't got a clue. But
so were you phoning people that you knew, or like were people able to guide you and help you?
I just found it on YouTube. I found that, you know, I was like, how to animate in Final Cut, and I realized that it was to do with something called keyframing. So people watching at home, just like with any kind of animation, each, you know, frame of that movement has to be done step by step, and as it gets smaller, as it goes in the background, you have to resize it, and then as it comes back into the foreground, you have to resize it to make it bigger again. And that probably took me about 4 or 5 hours. And that's just one envelope but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
To think that wow, you know, when you work really hard at something, at the end of it you can have something like a video. It made me think about the old movies like The Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach, and even Corpse Bride to an extent, and movies like that, where they have animated every single frame, and what blood, sweat and tears goes into producing that. It is astounding.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's amazing. I've been to some, because I work in film and promotion, so I've been to some animation studios, and it's incredible. But they have a lot of people working on them, so that's how it gets done, where you were just one person. So
who would be mad enough to do it on their own, eh?
So now, where can we see the video? I know you're going to do a live performance with us, which I'm making you do. Mark, I cannot wait to see it. But where can people see the video so they can look at it later and see the great work?
I've just put it on YouTube for now, so it's Stop the Show, Mark Reed, R-E-A-D. I have to say how to spell it, because there's so many different ones. You know, people like R-E-E-D, R-E-A-D. So Stop the Show, and it's on YouTube. And I really appreciate anybody checking it out later.
Fantastic, and I'll share it later too.
Wonderful.
So, can we ask you if can we be honored to get you to do a little bit of live for us?
I would absolutely love to. Now, here we go. This is going to sound like the disclaimer, so I'm going to get the disclaimers out of the way first. I had my jab this morning, so and my second jab, and so I had a little run through before I joined you, and a good part of my voice appears to have disappeared or gone to sleep. So I'm sure I'm going to blame the jab. I'm not going to, hopefully that's not an official side effect of it, but I'm going to blame that. And I'm also going to blame Liz, who's watching us, for this next song that I'm going to be doing for you, because it was her suggestion.
Okay, woohoo. So I see Liz already on there.
I haven't sung this song in so many years. So when she suggested this, like yesterday or the day before, I was like, oh, I better give it a listen. So this will be this will be interesting. It's a nice.
Oh, and also your video, by the way, is going to be premiering tonight on Spotlight TV.
That's right. Yes, Sky Channel. Yes, that's right. On Hayley Palmer's show, a lovely lady who's been presenting a music show. Again, this was a new skill for her. She started the show during lockdown, and it's really taken off. And she's into her second or third series, and also she has a Saturday night show. So people with Sky and Freeview, you can catch that on TV tonight, which is always nice. I like to watch a music video. It's like, as a band, when you hear your song on the radio, no matter how many times you hear it on the radio, it's still a really special moment. It's really lovely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's see. Now, this is a song that some people will be familiar with, but some may not be, because it's not one of the more well-known songs from Beauty and the Beast. It was actually written for the film, for the remake, and it's another Alan Menken song. And yes, that's a few clues. But as I say, you know, this is back to the disclaimers. If I freeze, I do apologise. I really hope I don't. I should probably just get on with it, as we have got good signal. Here we go. Let's give this a go.
But if you freeze, everyone hang in there, because he'll come back. We'll get a little circle and then you'll come back.
Look at that. Just pretty much the very
I wasn't
moment.
sure if that was you freezing as a joke or...
No,
or freezing, and I realized you were freezing. Okay.
That is actually the kind of joke I would do, but it actually wasn't. So yeah, so I've just switched the Wi-Fi off my computer, so I'm hoping that the phone is sucking up all the Wi-Fi, so it's going to be even better. But here we go. And also another, I'm going to be using the track just because I did this song on piano so many years ago that I couldn't actually find my original track that I played. So for time's sake, I'm just going to use the backing track. Hopefully Disney doesn't shut us down. But I think they're a little bit more relaxed on Instagram than they are on Facebook. There you go.
Yeah, and it's alive too, so we get away with it.
And we'll get away with it. Here we go. Let's give this a go. 1, 2. Just letting you know that it's live. Okay. Here we go. I was the one who had it all. I was the mark of my fate. I never needed anybody in my life. I learned the truth too late. I'll never shake away. I close my eyes, but she's still there. I let her steal into my melancholy heart. It's more than I can bear. Now I know she'll never leave me, even as she runs away. She will still torment me, calm me, hurt me, move me, come what may. Wasting in my lonely tower, waiting by an open door. I'll fool myself, she'll walk right in and be with me forever. It's a low note. I rage against the trials of love. I curse the fading of the light. Though she's already so far beyond my reach, she's never out of sight. Now I know she'll never leave me, even as she fades from view. She will still inspire me, be a part of everything I do. Wasting in my lonely tower, waiting by an open door. I'll fool myself, she'll walk right in, and as the long, long nights begin, I'll think of all that might have been, waiting here for evermore. Did we get away with it?
We got away with it. I'm getting, wow. That was
Just about got away with it.
beautiful. And you know, you just still the heartthrob. I feel so special because I know you sang to everybody that was watching, but it was very special. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. As I say, I haven't sung that for so long, so I did actually have to have the lyrics here, and my voice just about held out. But you know, it goes back to the show must go on. You know, I come from a background, as I'm sure many artists, if there's any artists watching this that will understand this, no matter what happens, the show must go on. And even if you're, you know, feeling sick, even if you can't walk, even if you know, I always say it would literally take my arm hanging off to not be able to go on stage. We had this funny moment, and this actually goes back to my days when I used to work on cruise ships, and I used to be in like the house bands and things like that. If you hit those rough seas in the Med, the Bay of Biscay and things like that, everybody would be like rushing off to throw up, and the waiters would be coming in the room, and the trays are sliding all over the place, the drum kit, the cymbals are over here, and you know, and I used to literally have to run off and then come back on and carry on singing. And it's happened a few times, even with A1, but you just have this thing inside you that, you know, no matter how you're feeling, you've got, because music can make you feel better. And, you know, so that, anyway, that's my little the show must go on story.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. And it's what I love about performers, but everyone can also take inspiration about that, because life is, you know, Shakespeare says we're all, you know, players, you know, in this stage called life. And, you know, for all of us, the show must go on no matter what. So if we can make that a mantra,
yeah,
it's great philosophy.
One of my great a mentor of mine, who's sadly no longer with us, was my manager for some time, a gentleman by the name of David Bainbridge. He would always say to me, "It's not a rehearsal. Life's not a rehearsal." And that always stayed with me. And he was a brilliant mentor and gave me a lot of advice. You know, and I think advice that you can pass on to other people who are looking to get into performing. Another initiative and another great cause that I've been speaking to at the moment is an organisation called Ultimate Artists. So if anybody wants to look them up, they're helping to raise money to be able to offer 50 free scholarships for up and coming artists. And that's a brilliant organisation, and I'm hoping to do some webinars for them, and you know, giving some lessons. So if anybody's interested in that, check it out, Ultimate Artists.
And for any young people watching, or not even young people, anybody watching, how did you get into the business? How did you start out, and what was your you know, your entry point in?
Absolutely. Well, the biggest credit goes to my parents, who were both musical. My dad was in a rock and roll band in the 70s called the Wild Angels. He's not that wild. He's a big softy, really. And they used to just look really hard, all dressed in the leather jackets on the big Harley Davidsons. But and my mum is a brilliant musician, a fantastic musician. She was actually playing drums while she was pregnant with me. So didn't, you know, you see, the show must go on even when you're so many months pregnant, still gigging.
So you literally were on stage before you were even
Yes.
entered the world.
Yes, I really was. And I hate to say it because it's such a corny line, but I just had the music drummed into me. Yeah, so so they really got me started from a very young age. And I started gigging probably professionally about age 11. And that was doing all the pubs and the clubs and the circuit around, you know, around the UK. And that kind of training is the best. You know, you learn the very hard way that you can pretty much handle anything. Because if you can do a gig in a pub full of drunk people that are going to fall into you and knock your keyboard over, knock your mic into your teeth, and if you can handle that, you can pretty much handle anything.
So no formal training, no music academy or
not for me. No, I had piano lessons from a very young age because I started playing when I was about 2 or 3. But I unfortunately, opportunities came along and I just went out into the world. So I didn't have, I really wish I'd spent more time studying and more time training, because just having that behind you is such a great thing to fall back on. I mean, I've got musician friends who work in Broadway and the West End every night because they can just rock up, put a sheet of music in front of them like they're reading the newspaper, and they're just off they go. So I'm in awe of that, and I really admire people who can do that. Whereas I'd be like, right, let me have a look at this. Okay, yeah, I got you. I'll get back to you in half an hour. I play by ear. I play.
Yep, same as Elton John. If you
Yes.
saw Rocket Man,
Yes.
he didn't know how to read music, and he's probably one of our greatest living, writers and piano performers in contemporary music.
You certainly can't let it hold you back. I mean, there are still several opportunities out there. There's even many film composers that actually don't write, scores or write notation. They just have somebody scoring it for them. But so from 11 to like 15, I was getting some experience working on the cruise ships. I was sort of like one of the youngest people to ever work as a musician on a cruise ship. I mean, I was 15 when I started, and I managed to work it into a school. What do we have? Work experience. So I'd take a couple of weeks here for work experience and then work in the summer holidays. And then from 16 to 18, I was trying to catch a break with very different, different projects or whatever project would come along. And it was around about 1920 that A1 came along. And that was really, there was actually a couple of other bands that I was nearly part of that are no longer around, and they didn't really amount to much. And I sometimes look back and go, oh, could have been so different, And then also it could have been different on another level as well, because but I'm really grateful for for what A1 has given me, and many great friendships and many great experiences.
And are you touring? Can we see you soon, or what's your summer looking like? I know it's limited opportunities, but there are some festivals. I know the Isle of Wight festival is going ahead in September, and
we are on a couple of festivals coming up. But I at the moment, I'm just kind of taking things as day at a time, because you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's a lot of people that were announcing dates in the summer that have been too. So I'm just taking it
the farmer game.
And I know that the fans know where I'm going to be before I do. So, but I know for sure we've got the A1 A Game tour coming up in October.
Okay.
So that will be an opportunity for people to come and see us all around the UK, and I will learn much more English with Speak Fast. Yes, I do speak fast. I know. I apologise, Jacqueline.
Well, one of your fans, I think it's 1 a.m. in the morning for them.
That's right. Yes.
Who got up. They set their alarm just to see you.
That's incredible. I saw people are joining us from Japan, from Indonesia, from the Philippines, Singapore. Amazing.
And someone's got their ticket already. Bernadette's got her ticket already.
And AJ is pointing out that The Boys Are Back was the tour that we were on when the pandemic hit, and we had to cancel several dates. So those have been rescheduled for September. And so that's a tour with several other boy bands. So like who's on that with us? Five and Damage and 911. So that's a great show.
And we've got Gina Hole's watching from Canada, and we've got Australia. So you're big. You're attracting them from everywhere. Global.
That's wonderful. Oh, hey Gina, really nice to hear from you. Wow, that's fantastic. Donna Marie Silva is the boy. I agree. Yes, a 90s festival as well. I believe that is in August. Yeah. So they're all coming up, and I just can't wait, because, as I mentioned, I'm double jabbed now, and so ready to go.
Yeah, Manila's in the house.
Good evening, Manila. Good evening, Mary. You're both global superstars. I can say it's
That's so nice. But look, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. And thank you so much, just for being inspiring, I think, and just showing people the show must go on. I mean, the takeaways for me is the show must go on. There is, just keep on keeping on. And, if we're going to throw these curveballs like this pandemic has thrown us, go ahead and do something, create something, make something. You got a computer program, and you made a video and a song, which everyone can see on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much. And I think that's the same for everyone. I know it's been really challenging. My heart goes out to anybody that's been massively affected by it. But it's the time that we have had, I think there have been a lot of positives that have come out of it as well. We've learned to really appreciate each other, learned to spend more time with our families. Let me tell you, from March last year, I've had a family call, family FaceTime call every day at 11 a.m. like since the pandemic started, and we hadn't done anything like that years before. So it just goes to show that obviously nobody would ever wish this to happen. It's an awful thing, but there have been some interesting developments, and that have come out of it that have changed the way we think, and so hello from Nottingham.
And 100% agree. Family is everything. Yeah. And I think we've seen that. And that's family in whatever form that takes. It doesn't have to be the traditional family, because, what we saw with bubble groups, that just sometimes it's friends and neighbors, and even work associates that can be your family.
Yes. And you were saying about inspirational. I gather from our lovely mutual friend that you're an extremely inspirational person as well. Lizzie speaks the world of you, and I'm really glad she connected us, and because I sort of got in touch with her and said, hey, I've got the song coming out, and got any ideas? And I think I initially asked her if we could do something at Yahoo, and she said, yeah, sure, I haven't been working there for 4 years. So yeah, but I'm really glad she connected us. That's a wonderful thing, and I'm such a kind of, I love interviewing people as well. I'd love to flip this and ask you loads of questions, but perhaps we should do that another time on maybe one of my IG lives. And
I would love that.
Yes.
But all I'll say for myself right now, because I work for OneFootball, which is the greatest football app in the world. So if you're enjoying all the Euros that are on right now, download the OneFootball app and type in your team and follow us, because it's a great app. It's a great user experience. And you can look at all our Fast and Furious 9 activity we've got running on it.
Wow.
So that's my plug.
Very cool. I haven't seen the new one yet. I've heard a few spoilers. Isn't it amazing how people spoil?
It's amazing. It's an adrenaline rush. Yeah. It's a blast. It's pure escapism. And it's open this weekend. So anyone in the UK, go and see it.
I think a couple of people will go along to see that. I mean, it's great. It's films like that are getting people back out there and going to the cinema, because while people are still pretty hesitant, but I think it takes a film like Fast 9 to get everybody out of the house and go to the cinema. I'm still waiting for James Bond, but it'll come.
It'll be there. And somebody just asked what the app was. It's called OneFootball. So it's the best football app going, and just download it and enjoy the Euros. And what I want everyone to do after this is go on YouTube and look at Marguerite's video, because it's absolutely fantastic. And I don't want to leave without talking about, there's a charity, there's a URL people should be making a note of to donate.
That's right. You can certainly find it on my bio. I've put their address up there. You can donate at Acting for Others, and also it's on their Instagram, their Twitter as well. So check them out, Acting for Others. They have been doing an amazing thing. Even if you just buy the t-shirt, that goes towards helping a lot of people that have really been struggling, both behind the scenes and performers and theatres, because the most important thing is keeping these theatres open, so people can continue to go and see great shows. Now I've got the piano on now. Now what on earth could I be doing with that? Would you like to hear one more song?
Yes.
Okay. A little bit nervous, because now let me tell you.
Stop the show.
I think it will be. I have never done this live. Well, obviously I've sung it many times when I'm recording it, but that's the thing. You record a song, you produce it, and then you go, right, I've got to be able to do this live now. And because when you put such a massive production, I'm sure, I mean, no way comparing myself, but if you imagine a band like Queen with their huge productions, and then all of a sudden, right, we got to do these live. It's the hardest thing, and this particularly is a song that is so massive. It's been a bit of an adjustment to make it work on piano, but because it's the first time we're having a chat, I'm going to give it a go. See what happens. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I've fastened my seatbelt.
Okay, is this thing on? Yep, we're on. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to fasten my seatbelt too, because I have no idea what's going to come out now. Here we go. Actually, let's move this so I can reach the piano. Oh, just to prove that it's live. 1, 2. Okay, here we go.
This is great.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have a moment of your time? Make no mistake about it, you don't want to miss a single line. This is your invitation, and nothing's gonna stand in your way. So somebody call somebody, 'cause we got something to say. Welcome to the show. Step right up and blow. Whoa. The curtain ain't coming down. Let everyone know that we're back in town. Smoking mirrors and lies right before your eyes. You'll never know. Just let them try to shut us down, 'cause we'll keep bringing this back around. And tonight, won't you steal the show? They're never gonna know, no, they're never gonna stop the show. No, they're never gonna know, they're never gonna stop the show. You can't stop the show. We can't stop the show. Okay, I need you to help me with the drums now. Welcome to the show. Step right up, let's go. Whoa. The curtain ain't coming down. Let everyone know that we're back in town. Smoking mirrors and lies right before your eyes. You'll never know. Just let them try to shut us down, 'cause we'll keep singing till the sun comes out. And tonight, watch us still show. You can't stop, they can't stop, we can't stop the show. No!
I want to do standing ovation.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say, no,
That was brilliant. That was amazing. That was amazing. And we have so many hearts and comments, and it was just, what a voice. And it's such a great song.
I love that. Not even Mark's internet connection can stop the show. Absolutely brilliant. I appreciate it.
And people are just saying, awesome, bravo, love it, great. I mean, absolutely wonderful. Clap, clap, clap.
Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, that was wonderful.
Amazing. Yeah, it was superb. It's a beautiful song. It's a great song. And you've got such a wonderful voice.
Thank you. Well, that's, as I said, that's the first time I've tried it like that. And when I slowed it down, I realized it's a little bit like, those were the days, my friend. I thought, oh, I probably shouldn't say that out loud, should I? They'll be coming after me. But yeah, it's it's
everything. I don't think you can do anything now without it having a small sample in there somewhere or something.
Absolutely, things come back around. Absolutely, but yeah, it's so nice. People have really been enjoying the song and enjoying.
And people loved it stripped back too. The simplicity of the way you've just done it now. But if you haven't seen the video, watch the video because it's so cool. And then if you realize that Mark just made this on his own in his living room, it's even cooler.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of sell that aspect of it. I mean, that's why I kind of pushed it as like a homemade video, because I think it's very easy to sort of take for granted what goes into making something. We see all this entertainment. We are like absolutely bombarded with so much entertainment. that it's very, sometimes it's, you know, it's easy to forget what goes into producing it. So at some point I'll probably do like a little behind the scenes video and show some people the green screen stuff, because that is quite ridiculously hilarious, me just marching around the room like figuring things
It
out.
would be neat actually to do the YouTube like tutorial of how to make your own music video at home.
I think that would probably be a 10-part series. I might do that on TikTok. The behind the scenes series. And I mean, certainly if I can help people to make things as well, make their own videos. And yeah, the ponies Ionis would love a behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Whew. Well,
it's so great. So well, I just wish you so much success, Mark, with the video. I can't wait to see when you tour and come to London,
absolutely.
which I hope that you do. Lizzie and I are going to be front row center.
I very much look forward to seeing you there. And have you got a busy weekend lined up now, the rest of the weekend?
I am, well, I'm excited because we've got F9, Fast and Furious 9. We've got an event, a charity screening for that next week. So very excited about doing that and seeing that. And that's it for me. And just keep on keeping on.
Hey, you know, I've got to tell you a funny story. A1 were actually invited to, I believe, the first Fast and Furious premiere. That's I don't know how many years ago that was.
That was 20 years ago. So
that would be 20 years.
Exactly when you guys were like the band that everybody needed everywhere.
The premiere was surprisingly small. I will say it was. In fact, it was probably just a screening at this stage, but it had, you know, Paul Walker, Vin Diesel was there, the girls as well, and Michelle Rodriguez, isn't it?
Yeah.
Forget Brewster. Yeah. So the cast were there, but it was a very small scale premiere, quite understated. It just goes to show how huge that franchise has become. It's just blown up, and I'm sure they'll be making films forever.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they do, because it's really nice aging up with the cast.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that, you know, we saw that first film 20 years ago, and they're still going, and there's so many great values in it, you know, family,
absolutely,
you know, friendship, loyalty, you know, all those great themes are there.
You're making me want to have a marathon. Maybe that will be my Sunday afternoon.
Well, I'm going to go watch the video again after this, because now hearing you describe it, I want to now go back and look for those little sneaky shots that you had to do, you know, where you had to adjust your head and zoom in.
I can be very specific about that. There are several places where you'll see a smoke bomb appearing behind me, or something happening, or as I say, with the screen opening up, and I always like looking for like a practical way, because if you don't know how to do things technically, because I actually spoke to a great video editor, Simon, who does edit videos, and I kind of I had him, he was prepared to help out if I needed, but I actually ended up sending it to him at the end, and he said that's superb. He said there's only a couple of things I would suggest you changing, and you know, he noticed things that I hadn't noticed, which was great. And but yeah, I mean, when I told him I had to delete certain things, he said, oh yeah, there's an easy way you can do that. You can actually just cut. He says, you know, you can crop things. I was like, no, you tell me. Because he asked me, how did you do that? Because, okay, I'm really going to let the cat out of the bag now. This is the Wizard of Oz coming from out behind the curtain. Okay, the jacket was too baggy for me, so I had a peg. Classic thing that I learned from our A1 photo shoot days. Our stylist would always put a clothes peg on the back of the jacket.
Yeah, that's an old trick. Yeah.
So I had one on the back of my jacket, and then I realized that there was one left in the shot. I was like, oh no, and it was a very important shot. So rather than just cut it out, I had to layer several of the same video on top of them, and then recrop each one to cut it out. And then Simon says, oh yeah, you could have just cut that out. And, so, but hey, you know, it's fun to try and find different ways to solve problems.
Yeah, no, every day is a school day, and you've got a new skill set. Not that you'll ever need it, but it's nice to know that it's there and you've mastered
Absolutely.
something.
Well, Denise, I really appreciate your time and chatting with me today. It's really lovely, and I certainly hope we can do it again.
Yeah, no, I would love to. And I think it's been, thank you for singing and performing for all the fans, because this is like so special for them to just get to spend the time with you. Nice shirt. Uh, Lou Matrona has just said in 9/11. So it's a great shirt. But it's been just such a pleasure. And before the Instagram cuts us off, because I think it does right around now, I just want to say, thank you. And I really, really look forward to meeting you and seeing you live.
Absolutely. This Lou, this is from the movie Soul. So from Pixar Soul. And
Oh, right. Yes.
a big. I love the music in that film. So
Yeah.
and
I love that movie. I voted for that. I'm a BAFTA voter. So, oh,
ah,
that's cool.
yeah, this is one I ordered from the States. The shirt cost $40. The customs charge cost 50. It was one of those weird things where you pay more for customs than you do for the actual shirt. But hey, it's a great shirt, and I'm actually going to be coming back on Instagram Live shortly, soon, to be doing the second part of my Disney A to Z live, where I'll go from letter P through to Z, singing Disney songs, raising money for charity. So that would be one to look out for.
That's amazing. I'm definitely going to tune in for that. So thank you, Marguerite. I wish you so much success with everything. You're a beautiful person, and it's been an honor to meet you. And
you.
my heart can rest a little bit now, and I can go on in life knowing that I've been serenaded by you. So thank you.
Thank you. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad it worked out and the internet didn't crash. Yes, I'm going to watch Luca, Mrs. Stan. That's next on my list. I think that'll be tonight's viewing. Such a rock and roll lifestyle. After this, I'm going to go and stick on a movie.
I know I'm going to have pizza.
Man, I might join you on that one. Well, I will look forward to seeing you. Yes, thanks again, by the way, Lizzie. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Lizzie. And I'm going to post this now. I'll remember to save it and post it so everyone can see it later.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
All the best.
Bye, Mark.
Bye.